Have you ever been chosen by God, but still felt not good enough? Have you ever been responsible, but secretly overwhelmed? Hey family, my name is Tony Lewis, and it's my plum-pleasing pleasure, as usual, to share with you today a few minutes for us. The U is for underdogs, and the S is for strugglers in the Bible. If these messages are strengthening you, like, comment, subscribe, share with someone who's carrying more than they show. Thank you, family. Thank you so much for all your support. Now let's meet the 58th underdog and struggler in this first Leadership is Hard episode series, When Leaders Struggle. When Leaders Struggle. Today, we meet a leader who talked with God, but still struggled with himself. Moses, called but cracking. Just because you're called doesn't mean you're calm. And just because you're chosen doesn't mean you won't get frustrated. Who am I talking to? Let me tell you about this story. It's found in Exodus chapters 3 and 4, also in Numbers chapter 20. The name Moses primarily means drawn from the water, or drawn out in Hebrew. It derived from Moshe, to pull out or draw out. It directly refers to the biblical story, you remember it, where Pharaoh's daughter rescued him from the Nile. Moses was pulled out and drawn out and called out by God from a burning bush. God said, "You're going to deliver my people." But Moses said, "Not me. Who am I? I can't even talk." Send somebody else. God still used it. Moses led millions out of Egypt through pressures, complaints, and constant conflict. People complained about food. They complained about water. They complained about leadership. And one day, the pressure got personal to Moses. God told Moses, "Speak to the rock." But Moses was tired, frustrated, fed up. Instead of speaking, he struck the rock. Twice, boom, boom, water came out. But God said, "You didn't represent me correctly." Moses made it to the mountain top, but not into the promised land. Let me tell you how he struggled. He was fearful in his calling, saying, "Who am I?" He was frustrated with the people's constant complaining. He was frustrated with them, y'all. He got fatigued, tired in his leadership. He was carrying too much alone. You ever been there? I've been there. He failed in his emotions. Anger got the best of him. It took over. He forgot God's instruction and struck the rock instead of speaking to it. Let me tell you how he succeeded. He was chosen despite of his insecurities. He was consistent in his assignment. He was connected to God's presence. He was committed to God's people. He was covered by God's grace. Even with flaws, God still called him my servant Moses, my servant Moses. But what is the lesson? What is the lesson? Pressure can produce purpose or provoke poor decisions. Leadership is not just about power. It's about patience. Let me say that again. Pressure can produce purpose or provoke poor decisions. Leadership is not just about power, it's about patience. When you struggle, like Moses, when you feel responsible for Lottie, Dottie, and everybody, when you get tired of repeating yourself over and over and over again, when you carry pressure silently, when you snap when you should have spoke. You ever been there? When you obey God, but emotionally, boom, you explode on people. Lord have mercy, they got on your last nerve. When you succeed, like Moses, and submit and come under the control of the Spirit of God, and you keep showing up, even when it's hard, you pray, even when it's pressure, you lead, even when you're tired. Who am I talking to? You stay faithful, even when people are difficult. Family, can we talk? Can we really talk? We can't let one emotional moment undo a lifetime of obedience. Don't let frustration make you misrepresent God. And don't carry leadership alone by yourself, because even Moses needed help. Remember, God didn't just call you. He will cover you and correct you and carry you. Leadership is hard, but God is faithful. Leadership is hard, but God is faithful. But remember the lesson. Pressure can produce purpose or provoke poor decisions. Leadership is not just about power, it's about patience. See you next week for the next A Few Minutes for Us. For the next Leadership is Hard, second episode in this series, when leaders struggle. To God be the glory. I'm out, y'all. Huh?